Hello and welcome to Just One More Watch. Welcome to the first video of 2023. Actually, depending on where you are in the world, some of you might still be in 2022. Stop watching, come back in a few hours, or this won't make any sense. Anyway, Happy New Year to you all. I'm a little hoarse today because I spent last night doing crowd control at Sydney Opera House. Big shout out to a subscriber called Bolek who took a selfie with me whilst wearing his Bell & Ross. You made me feel like a proper Z-lister, mate. Thank you very much, you made my night. And I thought I'd start the year as I mean to go on with a double subscriber giveaway. Two of you are going to have a great start to 2023 because you're going to win brand new Straton watches and accessories worth well over $500 each. Now, free stuff equals sponsored video. This video is sponsored by the ever generous Kyle of Straton and Signum watches. Now, giveaways also sadly equals scammers, so please be careful. If you get some dodgy reply asking you to telegram somebody, that's not me, that's a scammer, don't get scammed. Now, the Speciale is not a new watch to the channel. I reviewed it back in 2018 and I've had one in my personal collection ever since. But Kyle has just released a bunch of new colour variants, hence the re-review today. Now, the Speciale is a TV case chronograph straight out of the 1970s, and the previously available colours reflected this: yellow, purple, mine is brown with more brown. These new version 2 Speciales take that 70s look, but bring it bang up to date with some far more modern, vibrant colours, including turquoise, orange, panda, and black panda. Hang on, that doesn't make sense. There's no such thing as a black panda. That would just be a bear, and that would be a weird thing to call a watch a bear. But then again, would it be any weirder than calling it a panda? Jody, you've gone down a rabbit hole here that your brain just isn't ready for today. Get back to the video, son. Anyway, so what do you have to do to win one of these? Well, stay tuned to find out, and don't worry, if you're not one of the lucky 2 winners, you can still score a generous discount on these using the code JOMASHOP, valid for the next 3 months. Let's flip the camera and have a look at them. Okay, so if this is all about the new colours, then let's have a look at these new colours. I've got 4 watches grouped into 2 pairs today because of the different movements that power each pair. The orange and the turquoise both contain the automatic Valjoux 7750, a bit of a legendary Swiss auto chrono movement that dates all the way back to the 1970s, which is appropriate, is it not? The kinda panda and the black bear, or whatever we're going to call it, are both powered by a much more contemporary Seiko Mecha Quartz movement, the VK67. These are the 2 that Kyle and I are giving away today. These actual watches, so they're going to be a little bit famous as well as being completely free. Now, I'm sure you've spotted the 2 brightly coloured versions also feature new granular textured dials. As well as that, they have black and white date wheels, black surrounds to the 3 sub-registers, and in the case of the turquoise variant, a 3rd colour, a mid-green chronograph hand, tips of the hour and minute hand, sub-register hands, and tips of each of the applied indices as well. I think the new colours work really nicely. I mean, orange and black is a bit of a classic, and that green just adds something a little bit different to the turquoise. Plus, the granular texture adds a brand new element to the design overall. And check the straps, or more specifically, check the stitching on the straps. The Speciale has always been sold with this rally style perforated leather, but with the new colours, they've added colour match stitching to pick out the colours on the dial. A really nice touch, I think. The 2 Mecha Quartz don't feature dial texture, but they do feature a sunburst effect that you can see most noticeably on the DLC coated watch with the grey dial. This one apparently has been the big seller. There's only a handful of each of the autos and the Mecha Quartz left, so if you like what you see, get in quick. Now, I love how the straps on these 2 also have orange colour stitching, picking out the chrono hand and index tips as well. And I like the choice of black on the Panda, but a lighter grey on the DLC model. Now, talking of DLC, all of these watches, regardless of the base colour, have a DLC clear top coat on the cases to help them with scratch prevention. Now, because this is the VK67, it features a 12-hour chronograph with a minute counter at the 12, hour counter at the 9, and a permanently ticking small second register down there at the 6. Plus or minus 15 seconds per month accuracy with one of these, and a battery life of between 2 and 3 years, depending on how often you use the chrono function. So on to dimensions and specifications briefly, and I'm going to do this twice because they actually have different cases to accommodate the different movements. Dimensions for the Auto are as follows: 41.5mm in diameter, 15.8mm thick. Now, all of these watches have double dome sapphire, and that Valjoux is well known for being a beefy boy, hence the thickness, but they wear really nicely thanks to a super compact lug-to-lug of 40.5. Now, lug width is 22mm, they come on leather, but an optional bracelet is available. I'll show you that in just a second, and you can obviously put this one on anything you fancy if you're not into the rally look. Weight for the Auto is 115 grams. Now, the Mecha Quartz has the same diameter dimension at 41.5, but the case is slimmer because of the slimmer movement, and the thickness is reduced therefore to 14.2. Lug to lug, lug width are both the same, but the Mecha Quartz is also lighter. These ones weigh in at 90 grams on the leather strap. Now, I'm sure a chunk of that weight in both instances comes from that lovely caseback. Straton Watch Company really is all about racing chronographs, so it is entirely appropriate that these Speciales feature a representation of a speedometer etched into the caseback. There is, of course, a bit of a spec sheet around the outer edge as well, advertising the water resistance and the movement. And on wrist, as I said, they wear really nicely. The thickness is offset by the lug-to-lug. You know, they do have a very specific feel about them. These TV-style cushion cases, they're a bit top-heavy, but that's just the style, and honestly, it's not a problem. You definitely notice the difference between them, by the way. The Auto both feels heavier and feels thicker, so do factor that into your thinking if you are considering picking up one of these. But given that the Auto is twice the price of the Quartz, I'm sure that is probably a bit more of a factor in people's thinking than the thickness and the weight. They are really cool, these watches, though. I do enjoy mine. There isn't anything else like this on the market new, so you'd be looking at a vintage piece if you wanted something similar, and with vintage you are walking across a minefield, something I've done only a couple of times myself and been blown up every time. So I really understand the appeal of these neo-retro pieces. Now, I should also show you the roll ball bracelets. These are an optional extra at $80 a piece, which is good value when you compare it to the cost of a strap code, I think. Available in either stainless steel or black DLC. I'm not going to size these ones, I'll leave that up to their new owners, but here is the same bracelet fitted to one of Kyle's other watches. I think it really suits the overall look perfectly. Okay, it may be a review and giveaway, but it's still a review, so a quick moans and niggles section before we get on with the giveaway. Lume. I've always felt that the lume on the Speciales is something that could have been better. I mean, Kyle clearly knows what he's doing because his Signum Cudas have insane lume. These Speciales, not so much, unfortunately. It's a shame because that's really the only fly in the ointment. They have plenty of water resistance, 100 meters with a screw down crown, and scratch-proof coating, so they do make nice all-rounders, but the lume was and still is a bit of a letdown. And I haven't really talked about pricing as yet, have I? Now, the RRPs on the Auto is $1,200 US, the Mecha Quartz are $500 US. Now, as discussed, 12% off that using the code in the description, so $10.50 for the Autos and $4.40 for the Quartz. Now, $1,000 for a Valjoux is good value, I think. They're not cheap movements, and it's nigh on impossible to find them for anything less than that. $4.40 for a Mecha Quartz on leather is probably on the upper edges of what people will be prepared to pay for one of these movements, I think. I'm not saying the watch isn't worth it because there's so much detail here, so much nice detail here as well, but I think there is a general perception that these movements aren't worth much, which I think is perhaps a bit unfair. But two of you lucky punters won't have to worry about any of that, will you? You'll be getting these two for free. So, what do you have to do to win one then? Well, you know the drill by now. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, head over to stratonwc.com using the link in the description and sign up for Kyle's newsletter. You can find the sign up link at the bottom of each and every page. Come back here, leave a comment on this video, any comment you like. I'll come back in a week's time, the 7th of January, and pick the first winner at random. I will pin their comment asking the winner to contact me by email. Once that first winner is organised, I will pick a second comment at random, pin that comment, ask that person to contact me by email, etc, etc. I say it again, be wary of the scammers. I will never ask you to text me, WhatsApp me or Telegram me, and I will never ever ask you for a cent for postage. If you get a reply to your comment that doesn't seem quite right, try reading it back in a Scottish accent. If it doesn't sound like me, it's because it's not me. Good luck to all. Happy New Year again. I hope your 2023s are better than your 2022s, no matter how good your 2022s were. Thanks for watching this video. If you'd like to see more about the Straton Speciale, why not check out my original review or watch one of Kyle's other watches, the Signum Cuda Titanium, blow the competition away in Loom Wars. Thanks for watching this one. I'll see you again in a future video.